everyone, and welcome back to Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige, and I am the show creator and host. And if you see that I'm in the same outfit from last week, no you don't. No you don't. If you like what you see here today, please consider pressing the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post, and you can follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. I am so excited to have this creative on the show this week. LUIZA Parrodia Penha is an 18-year-old actor, writer, and as of recently, filmmaker. She is graduating high school this spring and is planning on attending college for theater. She has acted in and directed several plays, and her most recent project has been writing, directing, and producing her first ever movie, Nowhere USA. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Breaking Character. Today we are here with the amazing LUIZA Parrodia Penha. How are you doing today, LUIZA?
I'm doing great. It's been a long day, but I'm here and I'm so excited.
I am so glad. I also just switched to speaker view because I forgot I had been on an additional view. So sorry for the beginning of that. But anyway, so I am so excited you are here on the show today. Thank you so much for being here. And so let's start this off with two truths and a lie. So you're going to tell me your two truths and a lie. I'm going to try to guess which one is the lie, and we'll see how it goes.
I spent so long coming up with these. I had all my friends in my classes run through them. So I hope they're good.
I'm sure they are.
So I have broken a rib while roller skating. I met George Clooney at a Las Vegas casino when I was 8 years old, and I am fluent in 4 languages.
Okay, yeah, these are good. These are very good. These are fantastic. Okay, okay. I am going to guess. I'm gonna guess that the second one's the lie.
No, it is true.
Which one's the lie then?
I didn't break my rib while roller skating. So my dad did, and he fell on top of my little sister and she was fine, but he broke a rib.
Oh no. Dang. That is not fun. Well, you definitely got me on that one. So yes, those were fantastic. So jumping into these questions, so you've been involved with theater both before and during the pandemic. So what has that change in live theater been like for you?
I mean, I think one thing I'm just so grateful that I am part of the program at my school where they care both about having us back on stage and our safety. So we really did take the safety precautions very seriously. And it was just a really fun challenge. I think I'm someone who likes to work under constraints. I think that makes me a better performer. And having to tell a story with these new rules that we had, especially we did a classical musical, we did Oklahoma, and I played Ado Annie. And there's just one scene that's just a kiss scene. And I'm kissing one guy and then I kiss another guy. And we had to completely rework that because that was just completely out of the picture. And that gave me some skills that I can carry over even when I'm not in a pandemic where I have to wear a mask and stay 6 feet away from my scene partner. And it added a level of creativity to scenes and to how I approach them.
I think that's really great. And I love how you said that working under constraints, you think helps you in a way. I think that's a really great way to look at that. Because it allows you to grow and learn in these different scenarios. So that's fantastic. And so what is one of your favorite things about performing and why?
So I'm the kind of person that when I get into something, I will obsess over it until I reach the closest I can get to perfection, and then I get bored with it and I move on to another project. And for me, performing did not come at all naturally to me. It took me so long to get good at acting, took me so long to get good at singing, took me so long to get good at dancing. And when I reached a point where I was like, okay, maybe I am good at this now, there wasn't like a boredom, there was like a satisfaction that I worked so hard at something. And there's this kind of idea where I'm never going to get perfect at acting, and I'm never going to get perfect at singing and dancing. And it's so different than the other things I've worked on. And I found this passion in me where it's like, I want to keep getting better and I want to keep trying new things and doing different things. And maybe they won't work, maybe they will, but I really wanted to keep doing it. And that's kind of why I love it so much.
I love that so much. I think that, and that sounds awesome. And you're right. I mean, there's just, you can always grow and learn. There's new shows, there's new this, there's new that. I mean, I also have had those hobbies where I've been like, I want to learn this. Just kidding. And but for me, it's like I not give up halfway through, but I'll be like, this isn't for me. So to hear that it's that satisfaction instead of that, like, okay, well, now I'm done with this. I think that's exciting to hear. And I love that you love that. So, yeah. So here's the wild card question, has nothing to do with anything. What is your favorite fast food chain?
That's so tough because I really love Mexican food, but I think it has to be Panda Express because
Ooh.
it's so far away from where I live. So it's always a treat when I go out and get it or when I'm near somewhere that has one.
Oh yes, I am also a Panda Express lover, and where I live now, I live like 5 minutes from one, and honestly, I don't think I've used it as much as I should just because it's here now. But I love Panda Express. They are, what do you, okay, now I just have to ask, what do you get at Panda Express?
So I get the chow mein and then I either get the black pepper chicken or the teriyaki chicken. And then I get cream cheese rangoons as well.
Nice, nice. I get the fried rice and the orange chicken because there is just something about that orange chicken. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's something. All right, so now we're moving into memory association. And memory association, the way this works is I have a random word generator pulled up on my phone here, and I'm going to generate a random word once I get to a good one, because some of them are bad. When I get to a good one, I'm going to say it out loud, and we're both going to share the first memory that comes to our head that we're willing to share when we hear that word, even if it ends up having nothing to do with it, just whatever the first memory is that you think of. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Our word is trying to find a good one. This one will be interesting. The first word, or the word that came up is mother.
Okay, so last year, right before the pandemic hit, I was directing a show, Steel Magnolias, and it was so difficult. There's this one scene that the mother gives a really emotional monologue, and that was so difficult to work. And the day like we finally got it, like everyone in my cast just broke down into tears. And I think that that's like such a sweet memory of that production because it was not easy to do. And it really, like, the girl who was playing the mom really just sold it. So
I love hearing that. Those moments are so special, especially when you share them with the whole cast. For me, I think of gosh, I thought of my mom. So there's so many memories with that. I guess I'll combine them all into one. So many times of driving with my mom, and we just talk about like anything and everything, just anything under the sun, like whether it's happened a day, what's going on in the world. Like it's one of our times. I mean, and now we live in different states. So I cherish it even more now when I get to do that. But yeah, we will talk about we'll get to some weird conversations, and we're like, how did we get here? But who knows? Alrighty, so you also recently just finished your first short film, which is so incredibly exciting. I'm so excited for you. So what can you tell us about it and the process it took to make it, and what was one of the most valuable things you learned while you were doing it?
So I've always kind of wanted to venture into that, and it's been a matter of finding time and a story I wanted to tell. And the way I kind of reflect on things in my life is through creative writing. And so I was sitting down and I was really contemplating the end of my senior year and what that means to me. And kind of this story came along about the sense of camaraderie you have with every other senior in your school in like the last 2 weeks. And so that's kind of what I sat down to write about. And I put out just a simple thing on my Instagram story. I was like, hey, I'm working on a movie. If you have any skills whatsoever that would be able to help me, if you're an actor, if you know how to film things, if you know how to edit, reach out if you want to be a part of this. And I was lucky enough, when I wrote it, I did have some of my actor friends in mind, just because when I thought, like, would this be organic to say, just certain people I knew came to mind. And those were the actors I got to work with. They played the role I wrote them in. So it was amazing to do that. And I think the most valuable thing I learned while making it is kind of that people trust my direction. and they trust my vision. And I've directed things before, but it's different when it's your own words. And even though I told them that, like, hey, I wrote this part for you, like, go do what you want with it, they still wanted my feedback, and they wanted to know if they were doing what I wrote justice, which I think is crazy because I was worried about their approval in the process.
That sounds so awesome, by the way. I cannot wait to see it. And that is that, yeah, that camaraderie when it, 2 weeks before and everyone's like, oh, we're all doing this together. And I love how you said that you were waiting to find the story that you wanted to tell. I love how you said that. And I'm glad that you found this story that you wanted to tell. And that you got to work with people that you loved, or, you like to work with. And that just sounds like such an incredible experience. So I am so happy that you had that experience for your first film, because it's something that it will probably never fade from your mind, which is something great, I think, to never fade from your mind. So kind of piggybacking off of that, could you give some advice to those that are watching? This could be career advice, life advice, whatever type of advice you want to give.
I think my biggest advice is general, and I say this to everyone who ever is like, do you have advice? Is don't take other people's advice. I think that for me, I've gotten a lot of bad advice before, and the good advice that I've gotten has only really hit me after I learned the lesson myself. So you can listen to all the good advice you want, but really it only hits and it only sticks when you learn things for yourself. And when you learn things for yourself, you have a story to tell about the crazy time that this, and this happened, and I learned this super cool, valuable lesson.
That's awesome. And totally true. I absolutely agree. There's sometimes we all have totally different walks of life. And so someone could give you a piece of advice and you're like, that doesn't work at all for me. And I think that's really smart to say, yeah, like you can listen to it, but maybe not take it. Or you're right. If you get the advice and then you live through it yourself anyway, and you're like, oh, well, yep, now I know. So when things get tough, when things get difficult, what pushes you to keep going?
For me, I kind of have this motto that it's you got to dance to the music that's playing. So no matter what's going on, I think about, what do I want? What is my end goal? Where do I need to be that I'm not there now? And I do what I can with what I have. I think one of the biggest things I've learned is that rejections aren't that big of a deal. Kind of when someone tells you no, it just means that they're not going to be a part of the process of whatever you're trying to do, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to do it. And so that really keeps me going. And it's the idea that, well, this is another thing that I'm gonna have to work around, but it's going to make whatever I'm doing a whole lot better.
So much wisdom. Are you kidding me? This is like, man, I love that. And I say it so much. I've said it so much, but I do. I love that. That is awesome. And so thank you for sharing that with us. I think that's amazing. So lastly, where can people follow you to keep up with what you're doing?
So there's my Instagram, that's LUIZA.parodia. And I recently reformatted my YouTube channel. So when I put all my new projects out, they'll be on there. So that's just LUIZA Parodia Penha. And that's about it. I don't have much social media.
Got it. Absolutely. Well, that will all be in the description. And I would also like to take this moment to apologize that I pronounced your last name incorrectly.
You're totally fine.
I'm going to say it correctly, and I should have checked with you before, and I apologize that I didn't. But yes, all of that social media will be in the description, and I can't wait to see all of those projects that are going to be up there. It's going to be so, so exciting. So that's the end of my questions. So thank you so much for being on the show. It was so great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was my honor. So I'm going to press stop on the recording. So we are going to head out of Zoom.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider pressing the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can know when we post, and follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. If you yourself are a creative and you're interested in being on the show, go ahead and check out the description box below where you can find a link on how to submit yourself. And if you would like to follow LUIZA or I on any of our social medias, that is down below as well. Next week, we have someone on the show who I am very, very glad I can call a colleague and a friend. Anthony Rodriguez is our guest for next week, and he is a very talented writer and actor. Thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.